every time. Every time. I had it all set up. I had no issues this time, and then I went to change one little setting in the background, and it said going live. So here we are. What's up, everyone? My name is Chris from Vo-Gus Prospecting. My channel focuses on teaching people how to find gold, where to find gold, what to do when you do find it, and essentially everything to do with digging up real life treasure out of the ground. And today we are doing a high banking cleanup. So a high banking cleanup is a sluice system that allows a prospector like me to be able to go out and smash a lot of dirt out really quickly. Now, this leaves you with what is called a lot of cons. Now, cons are the heavy dense materials that are in the creek, and those heavy dense materials tend to collect along with gold, and they tend to also lead you to it. It's an unavoidable part of prospecting, and we've got to use a little bit of specialist gear and a few techniques just to be able to get the gold out of those heavy cons. Now that you know what the video and this stream is going to be about, we'll say hello to some people in chat, but we'll also just cover up why it's vertical again. I had it set for horizontal. I had to change one thing in the background on the mobile phone stream, and it decided to whoop. So anyway, I can't help that. The other thing is this is a live stream, and that means that any number of things can go wrong, as they already have, and it just bear with me. We technical difficulties, Australian internet. We're at the mercy of the machine gods here. It's very much like Terminator. Who we got in the comments? Travis Fuller, what's up? How you doing, man? Brad Thompson, Dills, Twisted Roads, Levi. What's going on? Debbie. Yeah, I actually warned my moderators that we're doing a live stream today, so. Gabby, how you going? Dion, man of many talents. That is a good screen name. Ray, what's going on, brother? Awesome. It's good to see so many people here. We've already got 90 people in stream. So, I've got one special announcement to make. I had a Patron giveaway this month that we are drawing today. We've already drawn it. Every patron who signed up goes into the chance to win various prizes each month. And this month we did something a little bit different. I wanted to offer people an opportunity to go prospecting with me in a way. Now, I have followers right around the world, and so I understand that a lot of them don't live anywhere near gold, and they watch my channel and they're like, man, I want to be able to go out and do that sort of thing. So I offered the opportunity for a patron to either win the chance to come out with me for a day. So if you're in my area, or you can make the trip, or whatever it might be, you come out with me, I'll take you out. We'll do whatever you want. You want to high bank, we'll go high banking. You want to detect, we'll go detecting. You want to pan, we'll go panning. And you get to keep all the gold that we find for that day, all the gold or crystals or whatever it might be. So that was one option. And the other option is, if you can't make it because you don't live local, or you're overseas or whatever it might be, I will do that for you. I will go out to the creek on film the whole day of me prospecting and looking for stuff. And then I'm going to send you everything, all the cons, all the dirt, all the gold, all the crystals, whatever it might be. So video made specifically for you. And we have a winner. We do have a winner. He has been a patron for 2 years, and he's donated over $70 to the channel in that 2 years. I have a $2 tier, so a $1 and a $2 tier depending on where you live because of exchange rates. But he's donated over $70 in that time, which goes a long way to doing things like providing diesel and licensing and a bunch of other stuff that goes into the behind the scenes of making these videos. And he lives, I believe, in South Australia. So it's possible that he could come over. It'd be a hell of a trip, but it's possible. So we'll see what happens. And that man's name is Yol. Y-O-L, Yol. I'm going to go with Yol. I butcher people's names. This is part of the charm of my channel. So, Yol, congratulations. You have won the opportunity. We're going to get in contact with you very shortly, and we should be able to give you some more details and nut things out, but you've got it, mate. You've absolutely got it. The other thing is, we're doing a small giveaway today. I think this is going to be cool on the live stream. We've got some swag. We've got a sticker for the old moldy, but we've also got, this is pretty cool. I dug this up. I literally dug this up yesterday. Put that in front of my face. That there is a beautiful amethyst crystal. You're not going to be able to see the color very well because I'm using artificial lighting, but it is a brilliant purple and it is perfectly clear. So this amethyst crystal I dug up myself yesterday, fresh out of the ground. Really cool. Absolutely love amethyst. It's one of my favorite crystals to be able to find, and to be able to find it locally is neat. So we're giving that away along with a mini weigh up pan and a duck. Little duck. So this is what we're giving away today on stream. We'll do that at a random point in a little bit. So someone's going to walk away with just a small little swag pack, something to brighten up someone's day. We've been rambling for almost 6 minutes. We're going to get into it. I'm going to flip the camera around. We're going to do zoom into my face first. Yep. And then we're going to flip it around to the shed door. Cool. All right. This is what we got. So this is high banker concentrates. High banker concentrates are really simple to understand. It's the heaviest, densest stuff from the creek. We hit a pocket. This is all this black sand here is just ungodly. But to find this much of it on Reedy Creek is actually quite impressive because it's picked over. The spot that we pulled this from was heavily worked by every other miner. It was literally a pocket that was about 2 meters long and about a meter wide. And we filled the sluice box with black sand 3 times. And this is the end result. So I've classified this down roughly. This will have to be classified down further. I'm not going to have time on stream today to be able to go through this to the level that I need to go through this. We're going to do the initial stripping run on camera. This material here is going to have most of our gold. There might be a little bit of gold in here, but it's highly unlikely. Reedy Creek gold's glacial, very fine, very flat. And so you generally don't get really big flakes like this. And this is all our coarser material. There is a really good chance for sapphires, zircons, little pieces of quartz crystal like citrine, quartz, clear quartz, amethyst, smoky quartz in this material and in this material. So realistically, I'll be looking for gems in these. This is where our gold is. Our stripping run's probably only going to recover about 50% of our gold because the tin, this black sand that it comes out with, is, well, it's tin ore. It's called cassiterite. Cassiterite in Reedy Creek is 70% pure. That means this black sand, by weight, is 70% metal. It's very dense. It creates a lot of friction. Classification is the key to success with this because we've got flat gold trying to force its way through something that is providing a lot of friction. And that means that the gold doesn't sink through it. It tends to sit in it and on it because it can't force its way through because of the surface area. This material is amongst the hardest to work in the world. And this is what I put in my 1 gram pay dirt challenge bags. I've had people say it's taken them 3 to 5 hours to pan out a single bag of this. And we've got about 6 bags worth of material here. And we're going to use a little sluice box to clean it up because it's just way too much to hand pan. This is our little sluice box. It is drastically undersized for what we need for that level of cons. This is a very short run and it's very narrow. The one advantage of this is doing a stripping run is going to show me how much gold is really in it. It's also going to give me an indication of how fine I have to classify. Because if we're getting a lot of like little nano dots, I know I can go really hard on the classification and that's going to help me a heap. If we're getting a vast mix of sizes of gold, I'm going to have to break down each classification separately and run them separately. But that's why we're going to do a stripping run first. We've got a catch pan at the end here so that I can rerun everything. All of this runs off a little inverter. We are on 240 volt here in Australia. So this is an American 110 volt to 240 volt inverter. I believe it's an inverter. I sound like I probably sound like I almost know what I'm doing, but I promise you I don't. All right. So these mats, really important. When you get them, dream mats, you want to wash them because they've got some grease from the mold release and whatnot on them. You want to wash them. And then when you go to run them, you got to bear 2 things in mind. When they get cold, they shrink. So sometimes you'll end up with a gap either side. If that happens, you want to add like a little bit of tape or something to the side to make sure that you got a really snug fit in your sluice box. The other thing is these cells produce bubbles. And the bubbles that form in these cells create an air pocket that won't pop when gravel runs over the top of it. It's too small. So the surface tension will essentially keep any dirt from going into your capture zone here and you'll blow gold out. So when you turn your sluice on, I just run my finger over the top of it like that. but you can use a toothbrush, which works really well, toothbrush or something similar, and that will clear all the air bubbles out. So we're going to turn it on. Now it is a bit loud, so hopefully you guys will still be able to hear. I'm going to look for air bubbles. There's one there. I'll show you what they look like so you get an understanding. That's an air bubble just there. So that will prevent gold from sinking into that cell. So we just want to get rid of them, just like that. And we'll make sure there's no more anywhere else on the map. Flow rate and angle of your sluice box are critical. Reedy Creek, we can generally run, I like to run more angle than more water. More angle seems to work a lot better. So in this case, because this is a fixed 3D printed sluice box, I just use a rock to prop the back up. Probably not that rock, a bit too big. And that helps just increase that angle a little bit, just enough for me. Trying to do something fiddly on stream without setting it up first. Silly me. But it helps prop it up just that little bit more, so you get more velocity out of your water, but not more water volume. Oh, there we go. The power cord was in the way. Making a pig's ass out of this, that's alright. What can you do? You know what? I'm going to switch that out, actually. What I'm going to do is a bigger rock and just prop it up at the front. I know, I can hear everyone being like, what are you doing? We're literally using pieces of jasper to prop it up. But when you got a customizable sluice box, when you got one that's got adjustable legs and whatnot, you can just adjust your legs, right? So the idea of doing this is that you get more water velocity without more volume. And the volume causes problems because the higher your water flow in your sluice box, the less chance the gold has to sink to the bottom before it reaches the end of your sluice. You got to think of it like you got a cross section here. It takes time for the gold to sink. So the higher the water is, the longer it's got to sink. There's a sweet spot, and we really don't want to fluff around with that sweet spot. I'm pretty happy with that. Got a little bit of an angle here. Why are we on an angle? Interesting. That's better. It's just a little bit, but it must be the table, I would suggest. Anyway, that's okay. Right, we're going to start running it now. We're going to walk through what we're doing while we're doing it. This is a lot of cons that have got to go through this sluice, and it can be a little tedious. We don't want to overload it. That is about the right amount. So we're going to put it in, let it slowly feed down, and we're going to watch what the soil does. We want to see movement in the material, because the material needs to be moving to allow gold through to sink. If it's all sitting perfectly still, there's no movement and there's no space for the gold to fall out. By the same token, if you've got too much movement, you end up costing yourself a whole bunch of friction that this material provides. And the friction actually protects your gold from that water flow once it's settled into the sluice mat, once it's settled into those cells. And then it's just about feed rate. So we've got a nice little movement here. There's not heaps of like aggressive cells, but the material is dancing. I'll get a better close-up view of that once I get some more material down the sluice box. Now what I'm doing is waiting for the sluice to clear away some of that black sand. There's an air bubble there. Get rid of that. I'm waiting for the sluice box to clear away some black sand before I put my next one on. Because we've got so many cons, you need to let the sluice box work. It's got to do its thing so that you have an opportunity, you have space in your sluice box for the gold to fall in. I reckon a lot of the gold we got is really fine, eh? I reckon I could have classified a lot harder. Oh yeah, alright. I reckon we could have classified a lot harder. That's alright, we'll do the stripping run. We'll see how it looks. So what I mean by that is the black sand's so coarse that you see how chunky and coarse some of that black sand is. The gold is smaller than it. So even though the black sand's a little over half the density of gold, black sand in this area being tin is about an 11 density, gold's 19. And that means that when you've got smaller gold than your particles, if you've got a piece of gold that's half the size, or a really thin piece of gold, compared to that black sand, what you end up with is a situation where the black sand's density is actually outweighing the gold, and therefore it's taking priority in your sluice box. We don't want that. We do not want that. So classification means you get rid of all the pieces that are not going to give you any benefit. Like, we don't want to keep those chunky pieces of black sand, right? We want to get rid of them. So classification, we can get rid of, say, 90% of the really chunky ones if all of our gold, or most of our gold, is under that same size. So if the black sand's all, say, 10 mesh and all your gold's 5 mesh, you can get rid of everything 10 mesh and above, and it won't clog your sluice box up. That's what we're looking for. I can actually kind of read the comments from this. So let's have a look. Who's here? Geordie Hunt. I would love to have more gold in New Zealand. Man, there's some beautiful gold in New Zealand, but oh, brother, you gotta go have a look. You gotta do the thing. Really, it's annoying me that sluice box is on such an angle. It's all leaning to that side. It's just a little bit. It's got to be. Everything's flat on the bottom now. I'm going to do my pedantic thing. This is what I do when I'm out bush. I'll be real pedantic about making sure that everything's right. Can I do that actually? Is that possible? Hey, there we go. Now it's even. That's how I level my sluices too. So water running off the front's the easiest way to tell if your sluice box is level, because it'll tell you there'll be more volume on one side or the other. We've got gold there too. Starting to get some. We haven't run very much. I'll show you how much we run. That's it. That tiny little bit there is all we've run. So it's going to be slow and tedious. You can set bigger sluices up for this. There's obviously blue bowls and other items that you can use to clean gold. My pancake pans do a really good job of cleaning up cons. It's primarily what I'm selling them for now. They're just, I reckon, a really fast cleanup pan. But no matter what I use, man, it doesn't seem to make a difference when it comes to Reedy Creek tin. Everything loses gold, no matter how hard you classify, no matter what speeds you run it at, what water you run it at, they all seem to lose it. All of them. I'm actually going to build a little homemade job of one of these, just to show people that you don't need to go out and buy something like this to make it work. You can absolutely use a piece of V-matting and a garden hose and whatnot. So yeah, I just saw Brad Thompson. Your comment doesn't make too much sense to me because I've missed some of the other comments before. But yeah, if you're talking about buying pay dirt or selling gold to pay dirt vendors, absolutely reach out to them, because they'll make you an offer, and usually they'll pay pretty good. They pay better than most of the gold buyers, like the pawn shops or the refineries, because it's a different industry. Oh man, that is thick. We're going to lose a lot of gold. We are going to lose a lot of gold doing this initial run. Well, there you go. I just scrolled up the comments. Arnold Hart, where do I sell all the gold I have collected? Yeah, pay dirt vendors, man. If you're in Australia, I do buy Australian gold, but I like to do business in person, so we kind of have to be able to meet up, which is the tricky part, depending on where you live. Might get a different angle on the camera too, so you can see it. No, let's go this side. Oh, by the way, Shed Dog. I know everyone's been asking about her. Shed Dog. She's here. Once we get about halfway, I'll stop and then we'll look at the pan together and we'll see, oh my god, the amount of gold that was in that teaspoon. Woo! Damn! This spot was 200 specks a pan on the bottom. There was only a thin pay layer, like, you know, yay big on the bottom. But on that pay layer, it was unreal. And the whole way down, we're averaging about 20 specks. We probably got 20 or so shovels off the bottom that had that pay layer, and about maybe 180, 200 shovels on the way down just to clear the overburden off it. We're going 20 a pan. Oh, there's gold in this. I'm seeing it run out. There's no space because of how much black sand's having to go down there, but that's all right. That's all right. Oh, that's a big one. It's going to float out. You watch. You watch. I'll just keep an eye on it, see if I can bring you over. Hopefully the stream doesn't go to shit, but anyway. Look, right there. See that big flake? It's so flat, it works like a sailboat. And so if there's no space left in this cell, it'll keep skipping down. That's the problem with Reedy Creek tin. Too much friction. Look how much gold's in that box. It might not do it. We'll put some more soil in. Let's just see what happens. See these pieces of gold skipping? There's just no space. It's a very small box. It's designed for doing this, right? Doing small scale cleanups. But Reedy Creek tin, man, I'm telling you, it's still there. It's done all right. I reckon we'll lose it though when it comes up to here, and then it will start skipping down the box. It's okay because like everything's here, right? It's all, you don't actually lose it. I've got plans to go through this and get it all out, but that's why I always tell people never, ever, ever do cleanups on the creek. Always do them when you're at home where you can recover all the gold. You don't want to accidentally lose a bunch of gold on the creek. Very easy to do, right? Very easy to do. Man, I'm not seeing any chat come up at all. Not sure what's going on there. Well, there we go. I don't know what it was doing. It came back just then. Okay, I lost chat for a second. My bad, guys. Like I said, glitches. Clash buys gold if you're in the US. Yeah, Clash has a good pay dirt company. You know, like he's been doing it for a while. He offers good prices. If you're in the US, that's definitely one of the vendors it's worth checking out to sell your gold to. I know how hard it is to procure gold now, like running the old moldy and selling my own pay dirt and whatnot. It's a tricky business, right? And we want to look after prospectors that we buy the gold off. We want to make sure we're offering them a fair price, but also leave us enough margin to make money. It's a delicate balance. See how full it gets after you put just a couple of spoonfuls down? Phoenix Enterprises, Brad Welch, Gabby Valla, what's going on? Howdy from Washington State, Joe. How's old Washington going? So many people here today. Over 600 people watching. That's unreal. Thank you so much, guys. Just remember, we have got a prize. So what we'll do is we're going to do this. We'll do the giveaway once we get through the pan. We'll do the giveaway. We'll let the sluice box clean out some of the black skins. I hope, like, I know you're in South Australia, but if you're able to make it over and you want to do that, oh man, take you out for a day, get you some gold. Elk, Washington. I'm guessing there's a lot of elk there. Oh, it's full. We're going to be losing so much gold right now. It's all good. It's all good. We're not worried. Jay, hello from the Philippines. What's going on, man? Yeah, it's littered. It's real littered. Watch in here. This is where it's coming out the best. It's all through that section. From previous experience, we've probably got a gram of gold in there already, maybe a little more. A gram of gold today is worth 135 Australian dollars. Be a little bit US because, you know, dollar dues and whatnot and conversion rates. But we're talking about in and around 130 bucks probably in the sluice box already, and we're not even halfway. We're probably maybe 40%, something like that. And once I run this again, we're going to recover so much more gold because I'll classify a lot harder. What I'm really interested in too is to go through the gemstones. When you find old ground like this, the pay layer was a decaying bedrock that was really deep. And that's why I think a lot of people have missed it. There was a bunch of boulders on top of it, and yeah, it's just well protected. And so I'm going to guess that because it was old ground and it's been accumulating for a while, there's probably going to be some really nice gemstones in there. Little zircons, probably sapphires. Definitely garnets. There's always garnets in these cleanups. That was a good one. Far out. Yeah, Luke, $130 bucks. Dollary dues. $130 dues. It'll be more than that. I'm going to guess this spot's probably a 1.5 to 2.5 gram spot, just based off the color we're getting and how much dirt we're able to process. A lot of this is actually going into slobber bags too. So I didn't actually make a video on this. I just wanted to see how much gold came out of it because that was a bit too much. But anyway, I wanted to see how much gold came out of it because it's such a unique spot when I worked it. So we're real full now, so we've got to wait. I got a bit greedy there. Ah, so zero gold in Florida. Yeah, but you got fossils. I watched this guy on YouTube hunt for like megalodon teeth and stuff. Oh, look at that. Can you guys actually see that clearly? That is good. Oh, wow. Eric looks for gold. I just feel like I have too much black sand. Look, black sand isn't an issue if it's magnetic. If you've got magnetic black sand, you don't even need to worry about doing sluice boxes. You can just rip it out with a magnet and then pan down your blondes. It's easy as. But if it's like what I'm dealing with, which is 100% tin, which is non-magnetic, completely non-magnetic, literally not one piece of that black sand is magnetic. So you have to use devices like this. You have to. You don't have a choice. You'd be here for days panning what I've got in my hands right now, let alone what we've already run. So you've got to do it. But that's the difference. If you've got black sands and most of them are magnetics, you're sweet, man. You don't even have to worry about it. David Russell, where do I get the mini screen? This one This one here, I bought off Temu for like $3. But I bought heaps of different classifiers. The really good ones tend to come from prospecting shops in my local area. I don't know where they get them from, but that's where I've got them from. Where do I fish for gold? I'm in northeast Victoria, in Australia, and you can find gold pretty much in every country. Just depends on which region in your country. Pretty much. I think Mongolia is one of the only places that doesn't have significant gold deposits. I think that's right. Bit too much. Big flake. I watch the big flake, then just go woo out the end. Nick too far. Nah, this was all done in daylight hours, mate, with a shovel. If I had the other device that apparently I'm known for now, I would have made a lot more gold. I wouldn't be using this. I'd be using a full-blown sluice setup to clean this up. Just trying to get you a better shot of that gold. There we go. Look at how much we've got, guys. William Evans potato pan. You can buy one from XP, or you can buy one from, what's that Canadian company called? God, I can't remember its name. So many years ago now. There's one that's made in Canada. It's called the Beta Pan, and I cannot remember the name of it, but someone in comments might be able to do it. Otherwise, XP make a plastic one. The wooden one I used was custom made by a wood turner here. My partner had that made for me. Dean, where in the world would I like to pan for gold? Man, I've done it. I've panned gold in New Zealand. I've panned gold in Canada. Panned gold all over Australia. I'd like to go to California. I'd like to go to the Yuba River. I've heard so much about the Yuba River. I'd really like to go there and just see what that's about. That'd be cool. I've heard Montana has some pretty good gold too. So somewhere in that region, if I had to pick another country. But I'm pretty lucky. I've done most of it. It's running real smooth right now. Yeah, man. Yeah. Once you clog the pump up with a bit of black sand, you're golden. Whereabouts in New Zealand did I go? Man, there's a whole playlist on my channel, brother. Just go to my channel, look up the New Zealand playlist. I think there's 6 videos or something on it. I was down near... Oh, you're pushing my memory now. What was it? It was South Island. Nelson. Near Nelson. A few hours from Nelson. South Island, Central Highlands. What about Alaska? Nah. I know this will sound stupid to a lot of people. I don't want to go panning in Alaska. I would much rather go shooting in Alaska than go panning. And I only say that because like machine mining probably I would be interested in, but not panning. No. I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. I've got other things that I like to do in Alaska. I have never been to the Palmer River, bro. Yeah, see, Brad, that's what I'm talking about. Everyone keeps telling me it's awesome. I'd love to go there and actually see how awesome it is for myself. Too cold? Nah, man, I love the cold. I don't know why I'm Australian. I'll be honest, it's a fucking pain in the ass. I hate the heat. I hate it with an undying passion. I hate the heat. So, I'd much rather be in the cold. We're just shaking all the cons down off the side at the moment with a bit of water. This is an unscratched, unseasoned pan too, so we will not be panning in this, but... That gold's lighting up. I reckon we're over 2 grams. We've got to be over 2 grams. This is like, we're going to be losing 40%. At least 40%, just with the way that this is running, how far down the box the gold's got. We're going to be losing 40%. And it's it's going to take me a couple of hours of classifying and rerunning and whatnot to get it all. But, you know, what can you do? We're almost there. Once we get through this, like I said, I'll switch it around. We'll do a giveaway. Give away the sticker, the duck, the piece of amethyst, the little mini pan. Yeah, see, I don't want ice and snow. I still want to be able to pan. That's right. So many people are like, oh, that's not cold. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Like, you're frozen out of your creeks. Like, I don't want that. No way. I want to be able to prospect all year. I'm not going to complain about being able to do it. But Australian heat hits different. We have a much higher UV index than most of the rest of the world. So, yeah, it's like it gets to 40 or 45 degrees centigrade in Texas maybe, but that 45 degrees isn't coupled with a UV index of like 14, and that's the killer, because you can literally get second degree burns in a few minutes here in Australia. All right, so we're down to the last of it. The gold is looking bloody brilliant. All right, that's that. Let's give it a second. It's going to be good. Look at that. Nah, we're over 2 grams. There's no way we're not over 2 grams. There's no way. You don't see that much gold on a 1 gram cleanup. That's for damn sure. That is good. So remember, we're losing 40% into our catch, Pam. We're going to have to rerun. We got gold all the way down the bottom. Right, so really good indicator. This is because I only classified to 20 mesh. So 20 mesh is still quite big for Reedy Creek tin, and that leaves us a lot of room. It leaves us a lot of room for improvement. Now, the reason I did that was because I didn't want to stand here on a live stream and then just, you know, drip feed each one in. I wanted to rip through it, get a good chunk of it, to show you what this is about, and then I'll do the rest later, and I'll post the results on YouTube and Facebook in the community section. But this is what it's looking like. So we're going to let it clear out for a little bit, and I will flip this around. Here we go. Hello. Welcome. This is my face, if you haven't seen my face before. So we're going to... Bloody hell, Chris. I can operate tripods. We're going to let that clean out for a couple of minutes, because what's going to happen is the Dream Mat is really... It's quite clever. It's finicky but clever. It turns the water backwards. So essentially the water comes down the sluice run with all your dirt and particles. It hits the cells, and then it wants to fling everything back up the other way. And that means that you don't get whitewashing in these anywhere near like you would with a riffle sluice. So we leave it in there, and it's going to continuously force those lighter particles, which is the black sand, out of the sluice box, and it's going to clean our gold up a little bit more. So we're going to let it run for a couple of minutes. While we do that, we are going to draw a little prize. So we've got, just to remind everyone, a duck. This could be your pet duck, all yours. We've got a mini pan. If you've ever wanted to be a prospector and you couldn't justify the purchase of a big pan, I'm going to give someone a small pan. If you've ever wanted to stick an effigy of a skull with a beard with the words "the old moldy" on something, this is now your chance. But the most important thing, I think, is this. Once again, I'll get this up. It is an amethyst crystal that I dug out of a hillside in El Dorado. It is bloody clear. It's a beautiful color too. It's hard to show you in the shed lighting because, you know, it's shed lighting. Give me a break. So this amethyst crystal is beautiful. It's perfectly clear. It's got really nice color. All of that's going to go to someone who is in chat right now. Now, here's how we're going to do it. This is the traditional way. Some of you already know. Some of you who are new to the stream who have no idea. All you got to do is start typing in numbers, right? That is it. Just 1, 6, 7, 15, whatever you want. I'm going to point at the stream chat, and I'm going to turn around, and then I'm going to look back, And whoever my finger's pointing at that point in time is going to win. So get rolling. I'm going to get pointing. And point right. I'll wedge my arm so I don't move my finger. Right there, full fucking chat's going fast. All right. Good luck. Type your numbers. I shall talk some bullshit over here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Damn. Whoa, I saw it. Whoa, fire ants go fast. You can stop now. You can stop. I gotta go up. I saw who it was. Amber Baxter with the number 13. There we go. Amber, congratulations. You won some purple. That's not your color. It's the wrong color, I'm sorry. But you got an amethyst crystal, a new pet duck, and a mini gold pen, and an effigy of my skull. So we can turn this off now. Congratulations. Good work, Amber. Damn. Alright, we'll turn this back around. We're going to clean this out. So now that we've let it run, holy shit balls. Now that we've let it run for a little while, you can see that the gold is starting to come out because the black sand is shedding off. Holy crap. Well, alright, let's just pull that back a little bit, turn the water off. It's a good day. It's going to be a good day. There is gold all through. Oh, we are going to have to rerun this so bad. Try and sink the pan down a little bit with a rock. So, here's the problem I've got. It's a good problem, but it's a problem. We've got gold at the top where it's meant to be, but obviously there was so much black sand and so much gold that we made it all the way to the very end. Literally to the very end. So I reckon we've lost at least 40% out of that. And I know that that's probably 2 grams. So I'm going to guess it's maybe a 3 gram plus cleanup now, looking at that. Again, I will let everyone know what the final results are once I get it fully cleaned up, but it's looking really good. We do everything over a pan at this point. All right, that mat's clean. Now we're going to do the box because there is a bunch of gold on that. Move that. Here we go. Here we go. For the almost 600 people who are watching this, this will be pretty good. This will be pretty damn good. Like, look at that. Actually, I'm going to switch the camera angle over so we get better light. That's what we're going to do. Amanda, I should point out too, I forgot to mention, Amanda, if you are the Amanda who just won, can you please get in contact with Debbie, my admin, who should be on the stream in there somewhere, hopefully, or one of the people with the blue tools. And we're just going to grab an email and whatnot. So from you, you can send through a message to chris@theoldmoldy.com.au and we'll organize that to be sent out to you sometime next week. All right, so this will be pretty good. Again, we didn't classify heaps. We only classified a little bit and we've lost a lot of gold. And this is still going to be a brilliant cleanup. Look at that. That is a pile. That's not flat. That is an actual pile. Holy shit. So Reedy Creek tin never ever likes to be separated away from its gold. Holds on to it. It's just the black sand's too coarse, so. Yeah, that's well over a gram. That's a couple grams at least, and that's not including what we lost. Look at that. So today's money, couple of grams. Let's say that's 2 grams. It'd be in that neighborhood. 2 grams of gold would be 270 Australian dollars for 4 hours work. So 4 hours work made a really good wage for that day, for that little session. A lot of research and looking went into that, but man, cannot complain about that. That is beautiful. So a lot of this gold and a lot of this dirt, a little bit of it won't be, but a lot of it is going into slobber bags on my website in the next week or so. So you actually, probably by Monday, this gold, this dirt will be up in slobber bags. Bloody brilliant. That's really good. Now, again, we've lost a lot, right? So most of our losses will be in that pan. Boobies. Most of that gold that we lost will be in that catch pan. So we move this back over here. And we take this out. We're going to have to go through this. I can literally see gold sitting on the surface again. So the process for this now is to reclassify down to a tighter mesh to reduce the particle size of that black sand so that the tiny gold that we blew out has more of a chance to settle. That's the goal. That's what we have to do now in order to recover at least probably a quarter to half as much gold as what we've already got. But that is a job for later, because I have been streaming now for 45 minutes, and that is a long time to do that on a mobile phone because of battery reasons and stuff. I'll just open this up a little bit for questions if you've got any questions about what we've been doing today, and yeah, we can have a quick discussion. And just a reminder, we've got pay dirt available. You can literally pan this exact stuff. There's other pay dirts that are up, the gem and crystal ones that where I got the amethyst from. We have ones that you can go through and get literally that stuff out of them. We've got gold ore pay dirts. We've got challenge bags. We've got slobber bags. We've got 2 grammers. I've got a bunch of Nugget Rush bags coming up soon because I just got hold of some premium gold nuggets from some people, both in Albury and from the Golden Triangle. So, like, it's looking real healthy. That should buy a few cans of beans or perhaps a beer. Absolutely, Thomas. Do you wash your beard in gold? No, I don't. This is too scraggly to be gold related beardage. Look at it. Oh man, it needs a trim. Is the cleanup Sluice the gold rat new one? I'm looking for one of them. How do you rate it? Mike, yeah. So I love it. Reedy Creek tin. I've been sent pay dirt from right around the world. I've had the opportunity to pan cons from actual functioning gold mines. I've had the ability to dig in different countries and deal with a lot of dirt. There are certainly challenging dirts out there. Absolutely. No shadow of a doubt. There is nothing that I've come across yet that is anywhere near as challenging as Reedy Creek dirt. The tin content, and because it's so pure, is super difficult to deal with because the gold is flat. So when I use products like the Cleanup Buddy, I'm pitting it against the hardest possible stuff I can put it against, and it does a good job. There's losses. Like I said, there's going to be 40% loss there. Part of that's my fault because I didn't keep classifying down, and I knew that would happen. But it can't be helped, right? You're always going to lose gold from Reedy Creek cons. So for a product to do good on one of them, stands out. I've run cons from other creeks on this machine that don't have that kind of tin. They have magnetic black sands or they have ironstone, and it loses bugger all as long as you classify. If you classify down to the right particle size for your gold, they're really good. And yeah, that I got this one from Gold Rat with the inverter here in Australia. It's worth it. I would say it's worth it if you're doing what I just did, a small 10-inch pan's worth of cons. If you're doing more than that, if you're doing like a full bucket or something like that, you want to step it up. You want to go up to a bigger sized cleanup unit, whether that's a sluice box or a spiral wheel or something like that. Do I still have a PO box? Yes, I do. It is PO box 292, Wodonga, Victoria, 3689. That's the PO box address if you do want to send something into the channel. Not everything makes it onto it. I get sent stuff, but I get sent stuff from all over the world. And just logistically and time wise, it's not very easy for me to get everything on film when you do send me stuff. So I can't guarantee that it's going to make it on, and I do apologize for that. It's a logistical issue. I do my best to get back to people who do send things in, like letters and whatnot, and I pass on the messages that come through. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Troy G, I appreciate your Creek videos and your insight on mental health issues. Yeah, bro. So actually, we got 460. Well, less now. They just dropped off, but that doesn't matter. We, I've got a really cool giveaway coming up. It's actually a fundraiser. I've been given a sapphire, a cut, faceted, beautiful sapphire. There's more details to come about that, but we're going to be doing a fundraiser. I'm actually hoping to do it for a service dog organization over in America. I've done a lot of work for service dog organizations here in Australia. I'm Australian, so that's where my support's laid. But a big percentage of my audience is from the US, and I would really like to support an organization over there. So I literally last night got my hands on this sapphire. We're going to be doing some form of giveaway for it. That's going to raise money. So, or giveaway is probably the wrong word. We're going to do a fundraiser for this sapphire. That's coming up. That's going to be super exciting, but there's a little bit more I've got to do before we get to that. Would I be interested in some big quartz crystals from SC? I mean, sure, man. I would love to see some. I've got a little collection. I don't keep much, but the collection I've got, it's all stuff from across the world that either has been sent in or that I've dug up myself. That, yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. If you want to send something in, that'd be great. Can you change the color of sapphires within 50? I don't know. I don't know enough about sapphires to do the color change. I know they're heat treatable. That's as far as I know. Long time commenter, first time watcher. Nice to be here. Dark Horse, you funny, bro. Would you rather find a 2 gram nugget or 2 grams in 20 minutes? 2 grams in 20 minutes. I know nuggets hold more value, but it really for me is the experience. I love finding the gold. So if I was able to find significant amounts of gold in over a 20-minute period, that would be more exciting than finding a big clunker nugget quickly. It's like that 4 gram nugget I found in the Gold Triangle with Stumpy Picks. I'll never forget it. It was the best experience ever, but it's punctuated, right? It's like, this is your moment and it's gone. So I'd like that prolonged one a little bit more. Arnold, so we run a flat rate shipping. Bear with me when I say this. Shipping from my website, shipping from Australia in general is really expensive. To send anything in Australia up to 5 kilos costs $14 here for me from my website. So that takes into account packaging, the associated fees off the website, the transaction fees for the card payment systems, the postage cost itself, and insurance costs $14 for Australia. Overseas, it averages 30. It averages 30. Sometimes it's like $22 plus insurance. So $22 for the shipping and packaging and all that bullcrap. And then on top of that, you've got your insurance, which usually runs in the range of $5 to $8, depending on what I'm sending overseas. So unfortunately, it's 30 Australian dollars to send something overseas. There are ways of me doing that cheaper, as in like intentionally packaging everything to its exact size. I don't have the time to do that. So I just don't have the time to be able to sit down and individually make up a little box and send them out. And it usually, when I've run the experiments, it's a cost of $2 or $3, and it can't be guaranteed. So it's like I lose out on the back end with time to try and save someone $2, and then you're not guaranteed that the next time you send something like that, because of the weight differences and the volume, the way that the volume works, it's a flat rate. It's a flat rate. Debbie and I bashed our heads against the table trying to sort that out. But yeah, 30 for international, 14 for Australia. Flat rate, insured, tracked, the whole lot. Yeah. Much less than I expected. So $100 a year. So slobber bags are $26. That's all they are. So slobber bags are unsearched pay. What I mean by unsearched pay is I literally go to a spot like we just cleaned up. I do my pans. I'll do a pan. I'll look at it. There's gold in it. I'll put it in a bucket. I do a pan. I look at it. It's got gold in it. Put it in a bucket. Or I do a sluice run just like this. And then what we do is I make sure that there's significant enough gold in there to run the slobber bags, which is why we've stripped most of the gold out of it to see it. We then put it all back in, mix it up, clean it, as in sanitize it with heat so that there's no bacteria or anything like that. Once we've sanitized it with heat, we package it and we ship it out. So the least amount of gold that someone's got that I've seen on a review was 6 specks. The most was 1.5 grams. That's the most that's been recovered out of a slobber bag at the moment, 1.5. Like, just a ridiculous amount of gold. When I saw his review come up, he was ecstatic and I was blown away because I see the gold go down the run, but you don't know exactly how much you got. So 1.5 grams out of a slobber bag, lowest one was 6 specks. It's a gamble. It's a crapshoot. A lot of people, it seems to average somewhere between 0.8 and 0.15. That seems to be the range that's in there. And with the price of gold now, it means that, like, so Australian shipping plus a slobber bag, one slobber bag is $40, 0.15, well, 0.1 would be $13, so 5 on top of that would be 20. So $20, you make 50% of your money back straight away, like on an average. But the gold price, the people who were buying slobber bags, 6 months ago have now made more money than what they paid for it just because of the gold price going up. So it's pretty cool. It's a fun little product. Forest, yeah, mercury is what you're talking about. Yeah, it probably would be, but the problem is mercury tarnishes the gold. It makes it look funny, and I use this gold and this dirt in products, so I would never put something like that in there. Yeah. Oh wow, 0.98 grams in one of your slobber bags. Holy crap, bro! There you go. So there's your proof. There's someone who's got 0.98 of a gram. You just made $128 or something off a $40 investment. That's pretty good. That's wicked, man. Right, I am going to end the stream right there. We've been going for an hour, so thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Once again, I am sorry about the vertical. It's meant to be horizontal. I don't know. I don't understand. Have the best weekend that you can possibly have. Not that it's close to the weekend. It is for me. There's a public holiday coming up. That's why I'm saying that. So have the best weekend. Stay safe out there. Hope you find heaps of gold. And I am going to go and reclassify all of that dirt and see how much more gold I can recover. Bye, guys. Bam.